And I know who's behind Bitcoin. And it ain't some fucking Japanese guy in a cave. I know the guy.
You are working every single day, on schedule, following the exact process that society laid out for you since you were sitting in a classroom. Go to school, get a degree, find a good job, make your boss happy, save money, put it in the bank. Wait, but here's what no one told you. Every dollar you deposit into that bank, every year that passes, the system is printing more money, and the real value of what you saved is shrinking every single day, systematically, by design. This is not your fault. This is how the system was built, and this is what they never taught you in school. In 2008, right at the moment the global banking system was collapsing, Lehman Brothers was filing for bankruptcy, and millions of people were losing their homes. One person did not wait for the government to fix things. That person did not organize protests, did not write petitions, did not go on television to argue. That person built a replacement system, entirely new, from scratch, line by line of code. And on October 31st, 2008, Halloween, that person sent a 9-page PDF to a small email list of cryptographers. The title read, Bitcoin, a peer-to-peer electronic cash system. Nobody paid attention. Most people ignored it. But inside those 9 pages was something that no government, no central bank, and no CEO ever wanted you to understand. A monetary system that requires no one's permission to use. The name of that person was Satoshi Nakamoto. And to this day, no one knows who he was. He built that system. Alone, line by line, he ran it, answered questions from the community, fixed every bug. And when Bitcoin began attracting the world's attention, when this digital currency started having real-world value, Satoshi Nakamoto did something that has never happened once in the entire history of business. He disappeared. No announcement, no press conference, no explanation. He simply stopped communicating. His final message, in April 2011, was just 13 words. I've moved on to other things. It's in good hands with Gavin and everyone. 13 words, and after that, absolute silence, stretching all the way to today. Satoshi Nakamoto's wallet currently holds approximately 1.1 million Bitcoin. At 2025 market prices, that is worth over 100 billion US dollars. And not a single coin has ever moved. Not one. Think about that for a moment. This is the only person on Earth who voluntarily walked away from over $100 billion without taking a single cent. This is not a story about money. This is a story about something far larger. And in this video, we are going to decode it, step by step. Welcome to the Ghost Protocol. To understand why Satoshi created Bitcoin, we need to go back to 2008. Because Bitcoin did not appear in a vacuum, it was born from a specific wound. That wound was the largest global financial crisis since the Great Depression of 1929. Here is what actually happened. And here is what most people were never taught in school. Throughout the 2000s, the biggest banks in America were playing an extraordinarily dangerous game. They were lending money to people who couldn't pay it back. Then they packaged those toxic loans into complex financial products and sold them to investors around the world. Then they placed additional bets on those same products. This was a system built on blind trust. People trusted the banks. Banks trusted the government. The government trusted that printing more money could solve anything. In 2008, that entire system collapsed. $700 billion of American taxpayer money was used to bail out the very banks that created the crisis. The banks received the rescue. The executives kept their bonuses. Not a single person went to prison. This is what Satoshi Nakamoto saw. And this is what made him sit down and start writing code. He did not ask, how do we fix the banking system? He asked a completely different question. How do we build a monetary system where banks are not necessary at all? That is the difference between a reformer and a revolutionary. A reformer wants to fix what already exists. A revolutionary builds what doesn't exist yet. Satoshi chose the second path, but the idea of digital money was not new. Before Satoshi, many computer scientists and cryptographers had tried. Every single one had failed because of a problem called the double spend problem. When you send someone a file, you still have the original. Your email doesn't disappear when you send it. That's fine for documents. But if digital money worked that way, you could copy it and spend the same coin twice, 3 times, 1,000,000 times. This is exactly why every digital currency system before Bitcoin required a trusted third party, a bank, a company, an institution, to confirm you hadn't spent the same money twice. And this is precisely the problem Satoshi solved, with 9 pages. How? With an idea so elegant it's almost impossible to believe. If everyone holds a shared ledger, then no one can falsify it. That is the blockchain, a decentralized ledger. Nobody controls it, nobody can shut it down, and nobody can cheat inside it without being detected instantly. But the most interesting part of this story is not the technical solution. The most interesting part is the philosophy behind it. Satoshi didn't just create a new currency, he created a declaration, a direct rejection of the entire financial power structure of the 20th century. And he encoded that declaration into the very first line of Bitcoin. On Halloween night 2008, Satoshi Nakamoto posted his white paper to the cryptography mailing list, a private email group of mathematicians, cryptographers, and privacy advocates. The response was skeptical. One researcher replied, "We've seen this before. It won't work." Another said the whole idea was technically impossible at scale. They were wrong. The Bitcoin white paper is 9 pages long. It's not written like a business plan. It's not written like a manifesto. It reads like a math paper. Clean, precise, almost emotionless. But packed inside those 9 pages are 3 principles so radical, they still make central bankers nervous to this day. Principle 1. No trusted third party required. Every transaction in human history, from buying bread to transferring millions, has required someone in the middle to validate it. Your bank, PayPal, Visa, governments. Satoshi designed Bitcoin so that the math itself validates the transaction. No middleman, no permission required, no fees to anyone who controls the system. Principle 2, a hard cap of 21 million coins, forever. Every government on Earth has the power to print more of its currency whenever it chooses. That is the source of inflation. That is the hidden tax on your savings. Satoshi wrote into Bitcoin's code that there will never, under any circumstances, be more than 21 million Bitcoin. No vote can change this. No president can override it. No crisis can justify printing more. The cap is mathematical. The cap is permanent. The cap is the point. Principle 3. True decentralization. No headquarters. No CEO. No kill switch. Bitcoin is not a company. It has no office address. There is no person you can arrest to stop it. No server you can unplug. It runs on thousands of computers, called nodes, spread across every continent. As long as one node is running, Bitcoin is alive. That was the design, that was the genius. That was the plan all along. 3 principles, 9 pages, and embedded inside the very first block of data ever recorded on the Bitcoin blockchain, the Genesis block. Satoshi left a message, a timestamp, a fingerprint, a declaration. The Times, January 3, 2009. Chancellor on brink of second bailout for banks. This was not an accident. This was a statement. Satoshi recorded in the blockchain, in the one record that can never be deleted, a headline about a government bailing out the banks that caused the crisis. It was the reason, it was the indictment, and it will be there forever. January 3, 2009, 1815 UTC. Satoshi Nakamoto mines the first block of the Bitcoin blockchain, the Genesis block. He earns 50 Bitcoin as a reward, coins that, by design, can never be spent. They are still sitting there today in the first address ever created, a monument built into the math. 6 days later, on January 9, 2009, Satoshi releases Bitcoin version 0.1 to the public. The software is available for anyone to download. Anyone can run it. Anyone can mine Bitcoin. The network is alive. And 10 days after that, he makes the very first Bitcoin transaction in history. He sends 10 Bitcoin to a cryptographer named Hal Finney, who happened to be the second person to ever run the Bitcoin software. Hal Finney, cryptographer, computer scientist, and early Bitcoin pioneer, received the world's first Bitcoin transaction on January 12, 2009. He was later diagnosed with ALS and passed away in 2014. Many consider him among the most likely candidates to have been Satoshi or to have worked closely with him. His own words, "Bitcoin seems to be a very promising idea." For the next year, Bitcoin grows quietly in the dark. A community of programmers, cryptographers, and libertarians discovers it. They mine coins. They discuss the code. They debate the philosophy. Most of the world has no idea this is happening. Then comes the moment that would become legendary. On May 22, 2010, a programmer named Laszlo Hanyecz posts a message on the Bitcoin forum. He wants to buy 2 pizzas. His offer is 10,000 Bitcoin. Someone takes the deal. 2 pizzas are delivered. 10,000 Bitcoin change hands. At the time, those 10,000 Bitcoin were worth approximately $40. Today, at 2025 prices, those same 10,000 Bitcoin are worth approximately $1 billion. This is why May 22nd is celebrated every year as Bitcoin Pizza Day. Not to mourn the most expensive meal in history, but to mark the moment Bitcoin became real, the moment it had a price, the moment it stopped being just code and became value. And Satoshi Nakamoto watched all of this happen, quietly, from wherever he was, behind a pseudonym that no one could trace. By 2010, Bitcoin is no longer a secret. Journalists are writing about it, forums are exploding, and then something happens that visibly shakes Satoshi Nakamoto for the first and only time. WikiLeaks, under international pressure, frozen out of Visa and MasterCard, blocked from receiving donations through the traditional banking system, announces it is considering accepting Bitcoin. This is the moment Satoshi feared, not because he disagreed with WikiLeaks' mission, but because he understood what it would mean for Bitcoin. If a government-hunted organization starts using Bitcoin, every government on Earth now has a reason to shut it down. Satoshi responds on the Bitcoin forum. His message is unusually emotional. Unusual for someone who had always been calm and precise. It would have been nice to get this attention in any other context. WikiLeaks has kicked the hornet's nest, and the swarm is headed towards us. It was one of his last public messages, and it tells you everything about what he was thinking in those final months. He understood that Bitcoin was now too visible, too political, too dangerous for one person to be associated with. He understood that if he stayed, if there was a face and a name behind Bitcoin, that face and that name would become a target. On December 12, 2010, Satoshi makes his final post on the Bitcoin forum. He talks about code, bug fixes, technical improvements. Nothing about his plans to leave. Nothing about what was coming. Then he simply stops posting. No goodbye, no announcement, no final speech. Just silence. In April 2011, 4 months after his last public forum post, Satoshi Nakamoto sends 2 final private emails. The first to Mike Hearn, a Google engineer who had been corresponding with him for years. The second to Gavin Anderson, who Satoshi had entrusted with access to the Bitcoin alert key, effectively handing over the keys to the kingdom. Both emails say essentially the same thing. Here is the line that defines it all. I've moved on to other things. It's in good hands with Gavin and everyone. 13 words, and after that, nothing. For 15 years and counting. No wallet movement, no surfacing, no confirmed communication of any kind. So who is Satoshi Nakamoto? The honest answer is, we don't know, and we may never know. Over the years, several names have been put forward. Hal Finney, the first person to receive Bitcoin, a brilliant cryptographer who denied being Satoshi and passed away in 2014. Nick Szabo, who created a concept called Bit Gold in the 1990s, has writing patterns eerily similar to Satoshi's and has always denied it. Dorian Nakamoto, a California engineer who shares the name and was briefly identified by Newsweek in 2014, completely denying it. And then there is Craig Wright, an Australian computer scientist who has claimed, loudly and repeatedly, to be Satoshi Nakamoto since 2016. In 2024, the UK High Court ruled definitively that Craig Wright is not Satoshi Nakamoto and had fabricated evidence to support his claims. He was found to have misled the court. The ruling was unambiguous. the mystery remains intact. And perhaps that is exactly the way Satoshi intended it. Because here is what I believe. The identity of Satoshi Nakamoto is deliberately unknowable. Not by accident, by design. A named, locatable Satoshi is a Satoshi who can be arrested, threatened, discredited, or killed. An anonymous Satoshi is indestructible. Now, this is the part where I want you to sit up straight and actually listen. Because the most important question is not who Satoshi was. The most important question is, what did Satoshi do, and how can you apply it to your own life? I call this the Ghost Protocol. 8 principles that Satoshi lived by, and 8 principles you can apply starting today, no matter what you're building. Iron Rule. 1. Build systems, not thrones. Most people build something and then place themselves at the center of it. Every decision needs you. Every problem requires you to solve it. What you call a business or a career is actually just a job with extra steps. Satoshi didn't do that. He wrote Bitcoin to run without him. The protocol, not the person, is the center. Ask yourself this question every single day. If I disappeared for 30 days, would what I'm building still exist? If the answer is no, you are not building a system. You are building a prison with a monthly payment schedule. Iron Rule 2. The monetary theft is real. Satoshi did not create Bitcoin because he loved technology. He created Bitcoin because he saw something most people still aren't seeing. Inflation is a hidden tax. Every time a central bank prints more money, the purchasing power of the cash you're holding right now quietly drops. No one asks your permission. No one sends a notification. It just happens. You must understand this. Holding cash savings over the long term is not protecting your wealth. It is consenting to have the system quietly consume it. Learn to place your money into inflation-resistant assets before the system takes what's yours. Iron Rule 3. The trust monopoly must die. Before Bitcoin, every financial transaction on Earth required a trusted middleman, a bank, a payment processor, a government institution. They were unavoidable intermediaries, and they knew it. That is why they charged fees, set rules, and held control. Satoshi eliminated that need. Mathematics replaced trust. You must build the capacity to operate without asking for permission. Your skills, your capital, your network must be strong enough that you are not dependent on any single person, any single platform, or any single income source. That is how you decentralize your own life. Iron Rule 4. Your mission must be larger than your ego. Satoshi could have been famous. He could have appeared on magazine covers, accepted awards, given keynote speeches. He could have become the living symbol of Bitcoin, but he recognized one dangerous truth. If Bitcoin became associated with one specific person, that person becomes its greatest vulnerability. So he chose the mission over the recognition. Ask yourself, am I doing this because I believe in it, or because I want to be seen doing it? When you work for recognition, you stop the moment no one is applauding. When you work for the mission, you keep going, even in the dark. Iron Rule 5, prove it with what you refuse to take. 1.1 million Bitcoin, over $100 billion. Satoshi hasn't touched a single coin. This was not an accident. This was the most powerful financial statement in history. No press release, no tweet, no speech, just silence and coins that remain untouched. His values were not declared, they were demonstrated. Remember this, your value is not defined by what you claim. It is defined by what you refuse. If you say you have principles but break them for money, for convenience, for social pressure, you do not have principles. You just have a collection of well-worded sentences. Iron Rule 6. The exit strategy is the strategy. Most people think about entrances, how to start a project, a job, a business partnership. Very few people think about exits. Satoshi thought about the exit from the beginning. He wrote Bitcoin so it could function without him before he ever left. The exit was engineered into the architecture. You must design your exit before you begin. Can your business be sold? Can your skills be transferred? Can your income run without your daily input? If not, you are not building assets. You are building a trap that charges you rent by the hour. Iron Rule 7. Silence is the loudest statement. We live in an era of noise. Everyone wants to speak. Everyone wants to explain. Everyone wants to be heard, which is exactly why silence has become the rarest asset in the world. Satoshi did not explain himself. He did not defend his ideas. He did not argue with critics. He wrote code, and he let the code speak for him. Learn the power of strategic silence. Not every question requires your answer. Not every argument requires your participation. Sometimes the most powerful response you can give is to keep working and let the results speak instead of you. Iron Rule 8, the disappearance protocol. Leave before they ask you to. This is the hardest rule, and this is the rule almost no one actually follows. Satoshi did not leave because he was forced to. He left at exactly the right moment, when Bitcoin was strong enough to stand on its own, but before he had become a liability to it. This is the difference between someone who is great and someone who only wants to be remembered. Have the courage to step aside from a project that is complete, from a role you've outgrown, from a partnership that has reached its natural conclusion. Leaving at the right moment is not failure, it is mastery, and it is the rarest thing in the world. Now, what does any of this mean for you? Maybe you're not building a new currency, maybe you're not changing the global financial system, but here is what Satoshi's story teaches us. No matter what you're building, whether it's a company, a career, a project, or a life, how you leave matters more than how you arrive. Most people think about building. Very few think about stepping aside. But the greatest figures in history, Washington refusing to become king, Mandela stepping down after one term, Satoshi disappearing at the height of his power, they all understood one profound truth. True power is not the ability to hold on. True power is the willingness to let go. Satoshi Nakamoto did what none of us are taught to do. He did not climb to the top. He did not accumulate the most. He did not become the most famous. He built a system that did not need him, and then proved it by vanishing. His wallet is still there. 1.1 million Bitcoin, unmoved, untouched. A mathematical monument with no proof of existence other than code and numbers. Satoshi Nakamoto has been completely silent for over 15 years. His wallet holds 1.1 million Bitcoin. Not a single coin has moved. This is the clearest evidence that he did not create Bitcoin for money. He created it for a reason much larger than that. And today in 2025, Bitcoin is one of the most widely held assets on Earth. Governments hold it. Fortune 500 companies hold it. People in dozens of countries use it as a tool to protect themselves from inflation. Exactly as Satoshi designed in the winter of 2009. All of this from one person or one group of people whose face no one has ever seen, whose real name no one knows, who never received a single cent from what they created. This is what I call the ghost protocol. Build something powerful enough to survive without you. Then disappear and let your work speak for you. Because there is one truth that the greatest builders in history have all understood, but rarely say out loud. The person who cannot be found cannot be defeated. An idea cannot be killed, and a truly decentralized system cannot be controlled. Satoshi Nakamoto did not disappear to escape. He disappeared to complete his work. That is the difference between a great builder and someone who merely wants to be remembered. The great ones build to outlast themselves. The ordinary ones build to be remembered while they're still here. The question for you, are you building something that doesn't need you yet? Compound your freedom, or let the system compound your dependency? That's all. Thanks for watching.